Yo, what's good, everyone? It's Austin here, or Luna. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday so far. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I just woke up a little while ago. It's like 8 p.m. right now. So thought I'd make a video for you guys. But yeah, my day's going pretty good so far. Kind of just started. So, just waking up. Anyway, today's story time is a crazy one. It's an interesting one for a lot of reasons. And judging by the title, you could probably guess this was unexpected. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like on the video if you do. And yeah, man, let's just jump into this. So, today's story time all takes place back in the year 2017. Now, around this time, I was living out in California, living out in LA, but I was actually visiting my hometown in New York for a month. So, I was kind of living in New York temporarily. So, I was in New York. I just got there about a week prior, and I was renting this Airbnb for a whole month. Now, this Airbnb that I was renting, it was a pretty nice house. It was a 2-story house, 3-bedroom house. I had a few friends staying with me as well. And, it was cool. It was really, really cool. I was very, very happy to have my friends staying with me. I like to have my friends hanging out at my place. I like to host. Whenever I have the chance to have company over, I usually take it because I like, having people at my house. I'm not great at going out and socializing, but people coming to me and socializing, I like that. So yeah, I had these 3 friends staying with me, and I don't really have to name them all because they're not all crucial to the story, but there's one in specific who I'll give a name to. We'll call this friend Brendan, okay? Now, Brendan himself, great person, okay? Known him for years. I met him in 5th grade, so I've been friends with Brendan for a long time. So, of course, when I was staying at this Airbnb for a month and I was trying to think of people to invite to, stay there, of course, Brendan was one of them, right? And, they all pretty much moved in for the month, they all kind of brought their PCs over and their gaming consoles and their clothes and, we all kind of just lived together for the month type shit. And yeah, we were a week into it and it was going really good. And, I thought that I picked a pretty good group of people to, kind of live with temporarily. And it was really good, right? Now, one night at the Airbnb, Brendan decides he wants to make dinner for everybody. Brendan was pretty good at cooking, so he thought it'd be nice to treat everybody to a nice dinner. So he decided to buy some ingredients and make a really, really just a large spread of food. He made steak and pasta and mac and cheese and a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of random shit. He made a lot of stuff, to be honest. Way more stuff than what, the few of us could eat. So I came up with the idea where I was like, hey, why don't we invite some people over? So I invited 2 of my brothers over, my other friends invited some of their friends over, and Brendan, he didn't really have anyone that could pull up for some reason, so he decided to invite his mom. I didn't care because honestly, I'd met Brendan's mom before and she was very cool. I had met her many times because I've known him for a long time and she was always very, very cool. So yeah, Brendan made this really, really nice dinner and we invited everybody over and everybody came over and we had this large, family, but not family dinner. And the dinner itself was fucking amazing. Food was fire. The vibe was good. Everyone was getting along. Everything was amazing. And I honestly didn't think it'd go as good as it did because you had people that were family, you had people that were friends, different age groups. And I just didn't know how everyone would mesh, but it actually made it really, really good. So yeah, I'd say dinner was a success, right? And after dinner, we had some desserts that we bought from the store. So we had some dessert. And then after that, we just kind of sat around the table talking for a good hour and a half just about life and a bunch of other random shit, right? And towards the end of the night, Brendan's mom walks up to me and she goes, hey, can I use the bathroom? I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, upstairs, first door on the left. She's like, okay, thank you. And she goes upstairs and she goes to use the bathroom, right? Now, at this point, the dinner/gathering, whatever you want to call it, was kind of winding down. People were getting tired. It was getting kind of late and people started to leave. My brothers left. A few of our friends left. And pretty much the only people left was one of our extra friends and Brendan's mom. And Brendan's mom comes downstairs after using the bathroom and she's like, hey, I'm pretty tired. I had a great night tonight. I'm going to head home. To which everybody was like, okay, have a good one. Thanks for coming. And, we all gave her a hug and said goodbye. And she started to walk away. Now she opens the front door, puts her shoes on, proceeds to walk out the front door. And as she's walking across the street to where her car was parked, I noticed that she didn't take one of the plates home with her. We told everyone that they could take stuff home and she was going to take home one of the pastas. So I was like, oh shit, let me run that out to her real quick. So I grabbed a plate of this pasta that was all wrapped up and I ran outside and I ran across the street and I was like, hey. And she's like, hey, what's up, Austin? I was like, you forgot this. And she goes, oh, silly me. And I go to hand it to her and she goes to put her purse down to grab the pasta. And it slipped out of her hand, her purse, and it fell and spilled out all of the shit that was in her purse. And it was pretty dark out. You couldn't really see shit. I just knew that everything spilled. So I took out my phone. I went to put on my flashlight. And she was like, oh, no need for that. No need for that. I got it. And I was like, you can't even see out here. I'll help you. She goes, no, Austin, really, it's fine. And I was like, no, it's fine. And I go to turn my light on. And she grabs my phone out of my hand And she goes, no, Austin, really, it's fine. I don't need your light. It's fine. It's too bright. And I thought this was kind of weird. It's like, why wouldn't you want the flashlight? You literally can't see. Like, you couldn't see where things were on the pavement. So I knew that if I didn't have that light on it, she would miss, stuff on the ground and probably leave it there, and it would just get ran over by cars. I also thought it was really weird how frustrated she seemed at me for just trying to turn my light on and help her. She basically snatched my phone out of my hand and told me not to turn my light on. I just thought that was kind of odd. So after this, she hands the phone back to me, and she bends back down to go picking stuff up, and sure enough, she can't see shit, right? And she's having trouble. And I'm just standing there watching her, and I was like, you sure you don't want the light? And she was like, I'm sure. And she proceeds to pick up whatever she can feel on the ground, puts it back in her purse, puts the purse in the car, puts the food in the car, and then she proceeds to get in her car, thank me for the night, and drives away. And as soon as she was like in her car and driving away, I was like, fuck that. I'm turning my phone flashlight on and I'm making sure she didn't miss anything because you can't see shit out here. So I turn on my phone flashlight and I shine it at the ground, and I was shocked to see what I saw. I see a bunch of random shit from her purse all over the pavement, just like I expected. She missed a bunch of stuff. I saw like a pack of gum. I saw some pens. I saw like a little mint container, like mints in it. And then I saw some other things that I didn't expect to see. I saw a chain. Yeah, this like little silver chain that I owned the exact same model of. I was like, huh, that's weird. She must have the same chain as me. Kind of weird because I just wouldn't expect her to wear that kind of jewelry. Then I saw a ring on the ground that I also owned. And I was like, huh, okay. I think those belong to me. And then I saw one of my credit cards on the ground. Yeah. And all of these things, right? That credit card, the chain, and my ring were all upstairs in my room on my nightstand. And the only person that went upstairs right before they left was Brendan's mom. So I was like, huh, surely she didn't try and rob me, right? Like, I got to be tripping right now. Like, this has to be some sort of fucked up joke. So I go inside and I go up to Brendan and I was like, dude, you're never going to guess what just happened. He's like, what? I was like, dude, I went to run that pasta out to your mom and she dropped her purse on accident, and I went to go like shine my light and she wouldn't let me shine it. And like, I thought that was kind of weird because you couldn't really see out there. And after she like gathered stuff in the dark and then left, I did shine my light when she was gone. And I found one of my credit cards and 2 pieces of my jewelry on the ground, right where she dropped her purse. And immediately Brendan's like, what? I was like, yeah. And I showed him. And I was like, bro, these were outside, like right where she dropped her purse. And Brendan didn't like question it. He didn't say that like I was trying to lie on his mom's name. He believed me immediately and was like, dude, I'm going to look into this. And I was like, thank you. And Brendan proceeds to leave the house, leaves the Airbnb, jumps in his car, and then drives back to his house where he lives with his mom. He's basically going back there to see if like she took anything else, right? And meanwhile, I go upstairs and I start searching my room for anything else that might be missing. And guess what? A shit ton of stuff was missing. My wallet was missing. Couldn't find that. One of my phones was also missing. I had an old phone that I had with me because I just bought a new iPhone like a couple days before that. So my old one was still on my like nightstand, and I was still kind of using it, to like transfer stuff off of it and like, make sure I'm not missing any like old contacts. So that was missing. Wallet was missing. A bunch of shit was missing, right? And I was like, what the fuck? And like 5 minutes later, I get a call from Brendan and I answer it. And he's like, yo, so you were right. My mom tried to fucking steal from you and I'm disgusted. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, bro, I just went through her purse on the table while she's upstairs and guess what I found? And I was like, what? He's like, your stuff. I was like, what kind of stuff? And he proceeds to tell me one of my phones, my wallet. He even found another piece of jewelry I didn't even know was missing. One of my other chains was missing. And I'm not going to lie, bro. This is just why I don't wear them anymore. I don't wear chains or rings or anything like that just because they get fucking stolen so much. Even if I put them in a safe place, somehow they end up missing. It's just crazy. Anyway, yeah, he found all this shit. And like in total, it was a lot of money, man. Like the phone itself would have been at least a few $100. My wallet had like at least $300 to $400 cash in it. My credit card was obviously unlocked. She could have used that to buy stuff. My jewelry in total probably totaled like $2,000 to $3,000. She stole a lot of very valuable shit, and I was very upset about it. And so was Brendan, obviously. And he was like, bro, I can't believe my own flesh and blood, the woman that raised me to not steal from people and to not do shit like this, just did this to my best fucking friend. And I was like, bro, I'm sorry. I felt more bad for Brendan. Like, he felt more betrayed than I did. His own fucking mom, like, tried to steal from his friend after having her over for a dinner. So Brendan ends up bringing me my stuff back. Shout out to him. And after that, he called his mom on the phone with me in the room at the Airbnb. And he was like, Mom, I came home. I went through your stuff when you were upstairs. I found a bunch of Austin's belongings. He found stuff of his in the driveway where you dropped your purse. You care to explain? And she just starts lying. She's like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys are crazy. You're smoking too much pot. Like, what are you guys doing over there? I would never steal from Austin. And I was like, listen, Brendan's mom, like, I'm not trying to like be mean here, but like we kind of caught you red-handed, so don't fucking lie. And she's like, you don't have to use that language with me. And I was like, I'm sorry, but like you stole from me. So yeah, I'm a little upset. And she's like, I didn't steal shit. I've never stolen from anybody in my life. And I was like, okay, you can either admit it or I'm just going to call the cops. Like, so it's up to you. And when I said that, her whole fucking attitude changed. Her whole dynamic changed. She was like, okay, I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I just found out that like I might get evicted from my home and I'm freaking out. So yeah, like I was desperate. I'm sorry. And Brendan's like, Mom, stop fucking lying. We're not getting evicted from our house. Like your job is great. Dad's job is great. We're not getting evicted. And she was like, no, honey, there's things I'm not telling you. And he's like, what are you talking about? And she ends up talking about how apparently she lost a bunch of their money gambling recently. And I don't even know if this is true. I really don't. Like to this day, I have no idea if that's true or not. And Brendan's like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's not even any casinos near us. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I've been gambling. Like, I've been gambling with my friends. We do this like secret poker nights. Like, I've been gambling a lot. And Brendan's like, okay, I don't fucking care. This is no excuse to steal from my best friend. She's like, I know, sweetie. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there in disbelief. Like this whole conversation, I can't believe it's happening. Like this woman, my entire life was always so cool to me. So the fact that she stole from me, it was very betraying feeling. You know, it was a very bad feeling of like betrayal. So anyway, after talking to her for like 10 to 15 minutes and getting absolutely just nowhere with it, Brendan's dad came in the room and like heard us on the phone with her. And he took the phone and he's like, what's going on, Brendan? And Brendan explained, he's like, Mom stole from Austin. And he's like, what? And we told him everything and he believed us. And he immediately kind of turned his attention to her and was like, why would you do that? And she started crying and she was like, I don't know. Like, I'm tight with money right now and I didn't know what to do. And like, I didn't know what to do. And Brendan's dad's like, that's it. Like, we're going to therapy. And I was like, damn. And yeah, apparently he signed her and him up for like couples therapy like 2 weeks later to talk about this incident and a bunch of other stuff that had been going on recently. And I know some of you are probably wondering, Austin, what'd you do? Did you call the cops on her? Because I probably could have, you know, like I kind of had her on the phone admitting it. I could have recorded it and probably shown the cops and talked about what happened. And I'm sure they would have did something about it. Or maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. I never ended up calling him though, because Brendan's mom clearly had some issues she was going through. All right. Doesn't justify stealing from people. That is not what I'm saying. But the last thing I wanted to do was get my homie's mom locked up. One of my best friends, like, I'm not going to get his mom locked up over that shit. I got my stuff back. That's all I cared about. Like I said, not justifying what she did. That shit's fucked up. And, you know, I would hope that she didn't do it after this. But yeah, I didn't want to get her arrested. Anyway. So I ended up like talking to them for a little bit longer after this. I talked to Brendan's dad and her, and it kind of was just like some back and forth of like her apologizing, me being like, okay, whatever. And then his dad apologizing and me being like, dude, it's not your fault. And then he kept saying like they were gonna go to therapy, which like I said, they did go to therapy. And in the end, what ended up happening is I didn't see her ever again. I haven't seen her since this day. I still hang out with Brendan. And according to Brendan, you know, she's doing a lot better, which is good. And I guess some of that money trouble thing she was talking about was true. I don't think it was because of gambling, but I guess she was getting less hours at work and that was fucking with her financials a lot. Like I said, still no excuse to, you know, steal, but you know, so she was kind of half telling the truth. Anyway, yeah, in the end, I got my stuff back. Brendan's mom, I never saw her again and I never want to see her again because I don't trust her. And Brendan felt really bad about it. And Brendan has never stolen from me, by the way. Forgot to mention that. I have left Brendan at my house alone before with thousands of dollars worth of shit. He's never taken anything. So whatever Brendan's mom had going on, you know, Brendan didn't have that going on. He was apparently a better person than she was when it came to, you know, not stealing. But yeah, that's pretty much into the story, man. I remember like after this, me and all my friends at the house were just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, we can't have anyone over. What the hell? Like, it'd be one thing if I had a party and shit got stolen. Cause it's like, all right, you know, people in my age group, you know, sometimes they can be a little bit mischievous, you know, but dude, a grown woman that is my friend's mother who I've known for years, not expecting that. But yeah, there's a very simple moral to this story. I think you all already know it. Don't steal from people. Just don't do that. That's fucked up. People work hard for their belongings. Don't steal them. And yeah, that's that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace. Why is everybody acting like they got a friend?